consists of a very accurate and precise hearing assessment app that works on iOS and Android platforms, and also a built from the ground up VoIP app and service along the lines of Skype or WhatsApp that actually leverages the profiles that are created by the hearing assessment and tailors the output audio for your specific hearing ability, especially if you have hearing loss. And then finally, a streaming app that works on the laptop, which will allow you to personalize the audio, all the audio coming off of your machine for things like Netflix or YouTube, or if you like music like Pandora or Spotify, or even for video conferencing like Skype or Zoom or WebEx, without the need for hearing aids or captions. So the hearing assessment was developed in tandem with the former chief of audiology at Stanford Children's Health. And I personally have severe to profound hearing loss. I had normal hearing until I was in college, and then it was a very loud party, and I had ringing in my ears for a week afterwards. And it got to the point where I lost so much hearing that in order to explain how much that is, the sounds and the phonemes in English, like S and TH and F, which are the sibilants, are the ones that are very hard to understand. Everything's going like this when you can't hear those. And so, for me, my loss for the SH sound is about 110 decibels, which is about the loudness of a chainsaw 5 feet from your head. So I started having problems. I worked as a film director, studied physics undergrad, and then started having problems when I was working as a film director, understanding on phone calls. So at SonicCloud, we thought, why not just take its functionality in the $7,000 hearing aid and stick it in the mini supercomputer that we're all carrying around in our pockets, the phone. So at first we created our prototype, and we did our first test where we used our prototype VoIP app and calling service that had the signal processing of my profile embedded in between the two phone calls, and I called my wife. I took out my hearing aids, I sat on my chair, I kind of just sat back and relaxed. I didn't have to crick my neck, she didn't have to over-articulate, and I went back to see her at the end of the call, and I said, that was great, right? And she was bawling, she was crying. I said, why are you crying? And she said, well, usually whenever we talk, you ask me to repeat myself every 30 seconds. We just talk for 30 minutes, and you didn't ask me once. So that was true, but that was just for me. So we went out and did testing with focus groups around the country, getting extremely encouraging results at audiology clinics on the East and West Coast for the efficacy of what we're doing. And we also decided that we wanted to branch out and do proofs of concept for other platforms, such as television and streaming on the phone and the live ambient solution. But ultimately, we believe one of the most powerful use cases for keeping people connected and bringing them back from the isolation and pain and withdrawal and social isolation they get from this invisible disability of hearing loss is going to be the case of virtual assistants like Alexa. There are at least 360 million people worldwide with hearing loss, and we believe the future is voice. But if voice only works in one direction, towards the machine, it's not enough. It has to work in both directions if it's going to help this rapidly aging population that is growing as a demographic. That's why we believe Amazon Alexa can become the truly transformative and revolutionary technology it's meant to be in both directions, and has the potential to become the world's first truly hearing accessible voice platform, and lead the way for personalizing audio across all platforms and devices. So without further ado, I want to play for you a simulation of what I hear when I'm not wearing hearing aids or using SonicCloud, and then live processing of what I do hear when I am. You may recognize this once you hear the B side of the simulation. It's going to be very muffled at first.
30 seconds.
To present the new Amazon Echo Silver, the only smart speaker device designed specifically to be used by the greatest generation. It's super loud and responds.
So that's what I hear.
The weather.
Allegra, what is the weather?
And that's what I hear when I use SonicCloud. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but there's a difference. So the next time I ask Alexa for recommendations for my daughter's birthday present, a daughter who has grown up with the journey of SonicCloud, instead of hearing, you should go to Nikon D7000, should be able to hear, you should get her a Nikon D7000, she'll love you for it, and in turn, I will love Alexa for enabling and empowering me bring joy to my daughter and all of my loved ones. Thank you.
All right, so now we're going to give the judges a little bit of time to collect their thoughts, and I guess we'll leave it at, we'll give you 5 minutes, and then we'll report back.
I like the last one a lot. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's fun. Good story. You could build a whole narrative around that. That last one could become a real business.
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. Not easy to do that. It was well done.
Yeah, I don't know if I could see it. Like hearing something.
I thought the last verse was interesting.
So what?
The last
I like the last one.
Yeah, I did too. They were all good. I mean, they were all pretty good.
Yeah. I thought this one called Compton 50.
Yeah.
This one called have some written one to get his partner.
I don't know. But that's why it's good no matter what.
Yeah. Fresh Digital.
Yeah, Fresh Digital. Yeah, Doug. Doug was one of the first guys that ever got me excited about voice. Doug was one of the first guys that got me excited about voice.
Fresh Digital.
He and I met more than a year and a half ago, just a while back.
Yeah.
And he was doing some huge